We have now come to the next part of the program, and this is where we will be talking about the topic of what Buddhist practices to clear bad karma. Within the title itself, I think there's a lot of questions that may come into play. So I think Bhante is here. I would like to, of course, ask Bhante some of these pertinent questions that may come from this type of understanding in looking at this topic. So, one of the conceptions that I think mostly we may have, we say in a simple way, karma is just simply a system of reward for good deeds and punishment of bad deeds. Maybe can I ask Bhante, what does he think of this type of thoughts?
Yeah. Thank you, Brother Asoka, Brother Melvin. As he informed you, we are having a 1 hour discussion. At 2 o'clock we are done, and then after that we will be giving you the chance to ask any question for 20 minutes, and then by 2:20 we are having a group photo, the main photo of the whole event, because we don't know the situation by tomorrow evening, so we have in the group photo between 2:20 2:30. And that after that we are having a rest and then back to the meditation. So topic is what Buddhist practices clear bad karma, and the first question I got was is karma more towards a granting reward or punishment? I think we said in the morning, discussed that this is one of the misconceptions, and you asked it clearly that this question that most of the Abrahamic religious followers believe that, or even even some other Eastern traditions, they believe that karma is coming in the form of somebody who is superior than us, superior, more powerful, more abstract, and that person monitors us. In Hinduism, they say Akasha Varta. Hindu people, they believed in ancient Vedic texts. It is called Akasha Varta, sky records. Everything that we do must be recorded somewhere. Otherwise, how are they going to be processing for us? So they had different beliefs. So in Buddhism, there is nobody who is granting us happiness or unhappiness. So we create our own happiness through the right guidance. Now we are thankful, grateful for the Buddha and all the other Buddhas before him. So we are learning that. Because the Buddha is not here, we have some text that we can kind of depend on. But those texts also have to be discussed carefully because there are some doctrinal conflicts sometimes. Say for instance, Sutta texts talk about mind cannot be located in the body. Abhidhamma say no, mind is located in the body. So how to differentiate these two? Now say for instance, in the Sutta text, the Buddha said, Durangamang ekacharang, mind is going everywhere, it can go anywhere in this universe. And then ekacharang, it would rather like to stay alone. Asarirang, bodiless, mind has no body. But when it comes to Abhidhamma text, I don't know, for whatever the luck, they found out karma, they found out the place. They call it Hadaya Vattu. I don't think we can write it here. Hadaya Vattu, Hadayavatthu. They said this mind exists in a precise location in the body. They said it is associated in the blood, in the heart. Now this leads to a certain confusion for some people. What if there is an open heart surgery, which is not happening nowadays? It happened some time ago. Doctors would like to go to angioplasty, angiogram, not in that perspective. Maybe for the worst case scenario, they might do it. So even the heart was taken out until the operation is done. It still has to associate some blood. So their point looks to be very progressive, but the problem is Buddha never wanted to find it, because mind is everywhere. If you think it here, if you feel something wrong with your tendon, it's over there, right? If you want to think about your hand, it is there, right? So how to locate it? So, but anyway, we can rely on most of the fundamental concepts, tenets of Buddhism, Four Noble Truths, Noble Eightfold Path, dependent origination, anicca, dukkha, anatta, three marks of existence. These very important aspects of Dhamma, they are common to all the Buddhist schools. So we can rely on Dhamma. And then Sangha, why is Sangha? Can we practice Dhamma without the Sangha support? Perhaps it might not be a good idea because they are having more experiences than you in the practice, right? So we associate, right? So but we have to associate a couple of Sangha members, not only one, because in case something wrong, we have to have a backup. Not backup means going to another Sangha member. If you listen to Dhamma talks, you have to choose at least 4 to 5 Sangha members. I mean, I'm not saying good or bad. I mean, those Sangha members who can really touch your personal experiences in life. So this Buddha Dhamma Sangha, they are supportive to us, but they are not the ones who are giving us our future. Through this support, Triple Gem, Ti-Sarana, right? Okay. You are creating your good and bad things, what you call karmic vipak experience. So in Buddhism, nobody can give happiness or unhappiness unless you work on it according to the guidance given by the Buddha Dhamma Sangha. But this is somewhat what you call taken differently by many people. Now, if you go to Christianity, even you are the worst criminal, the God can forgive you just before you pass away. It's a solace to these people, right? But in Buddhism, nobody can forgive you. It's only you forgive yourself. It's a very challenging thing. Even the worst criminal cannot forgive oneself, right? So people would like to depend on somebody for their happiness. That is the nature of human mind. Even for their normal happiness, I want to depend on somebody for my emotional happiness, right? That's a normal nature. But Buddhism suggests a different way. Buddhism looks at it differently because it's good that you are surrounded with good people. Sense of belonging is a happiness. You have people, loved ones, support you, but your sansaric experience, nature, will not be given by them. So you have to create it by engaging in more positive karmas. So the short answer is that there is no superior person, there is no omniscient, omnipotent, and then what's the other one? Omnipotent person who can control us in Buddhism. It's only us, we create our own future. Even this present moment was created by us in our own way. So the answer is no. We can create our own. Yeah, that is called Attadipateya. We learned that, moral autonomy, freedom.
Okay. Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah.
So I mean that clears the doubt. At least in the Buddhist perspective, I believe that we don't believe in the part where a God determines our fate. It's either more on our side. Thank you for explaining that. Then they will come probably to the next part of the question that I think most of us may want to know. I mean, Bhante did explain something of it in the morning. We say that karma is a fate-like force, something like a deterministic force, predetermining everything that would happen to us. So some people just say, I'm subject to that fate, there's nothing else I can do for it. Is that always true? And if so, is there any cases in the Buddhist side that explain that certain karma you cannot change? Maybe Bhante can.
I think it's a very multifaceted question. Let me tell you, our body is exactly coming from karma. This body, they call karmaja body. Our body, our basic nature of our body comes from karma. But the different things that we have created in order to become pleasant to other people, maybe health, they are mostly coming from some other activities too. Karma also affects, and we can do some other activities to change. Now say for instance, if it is raining outside, there is someone who wants to go outside without an umbrella, just like to get exposed to the rain, and by the end of today, tonight, if it rains, and thinking, oh, my bad karma, I got a call. Is it the bad karma? No, is it your decision to go out that way? So this is one small thing. What about there is someone who knows I am lactose intolerant, and you want to try some milk powder or something, and then why you got lactose intolerant is a different problem. Perhaps you were genetically influenced from your mother, father, that problem. But let's say that you are lactose intolerant, you can't drink on those things. But you purposely you want to drink because you have craving, so much craving. I want to drink, I want to have a smoothie and all that. And by the end of that day, you are having some problem. And you say, my bad karma, But you never pick up that drinking, that craving-based drinking thing at that point. This is another thing. Now say for instance, someone who is going to the gym, going to go to a gym and then does not want to follow the gym procedures, maybe doesn't want to warm up the body first, and they wanting to go and then work with a very big hardcore machines, and then do it, and without warming up going home. And by the end of that day, the person is having some muscle problem. And see, I can't even go to the gym. See what's happening to me? Is it due to karma? Maybe my bad karma. No, it's not due to bad karma. It's because you did not follow the procedure. You should have warmed up just to make your muscles, get ready for that. So what I say is that lot of situations in our life, lot of things that people call this is bad karma, they are not coming from bad karma. For the most part, they are coming from our unwise choices.
Foolish.
Unwise choices that we make in our life with regard to our life, with regard to our loved one's life. So what the Buddha says is that the thing I suggest you is that when something is happening to you, don't brand it as karma. That is the first thing I want to tell you. It might be something else. How do you name it as karma? Are you the Buddha? Only Buddha can say this is karma or this is something else. So don't try to rush to name it as a karma. Maybe this could come from a certain other reason. It could be due to many reasons I said earlier. Maybe a natural reason, maybe another process, inorganic process, maybe a problem with my mind, a distracted mind, right? Now say for instance, someone is going to shop something in a mall and go to the mall without eating anything, and then getting tempted by the mall culture, shopping culture. And when you go there, you hear very beautiful music, shopping music, asking you to buy more things, and then you are going there to buy certain things, and few months ago they were very expensive, now they are in the clearance, and you enter in the shopping place. Clearance is the first place that you are going through, and you see, I couldn't buy this one. Few months ago I couldn't afford it, but now it has gone down. But you went there to buy something else, and finally you end up buying that one, and you're going home. What is this? Then later you think about, see what's happening to me. That means you have not been able to
focus,
self-discipline about what you want to buy, what you don't want to buy. There are a lot of things to buy. If you buy everything, you can't even live in your house. Right? A lot of things. So that means is it due to the bad karma? It's about our choices, our discipline. Sila is there. Sila does not mean just you taking precepts. Sila means you becoming a more disciplined person in making better decisions in your life. So the first thing is that don't brand everything as karma. Don't rush to brand it. Most of the things you can change. But there are some other things. Now say for instance, there is a sutta called Chula Kamma Vibhanga Sutta in the Majjhima Nikaya. Buddha said there are 7 things that have come to people due to karma. Some people. Number 1, some people die early, some people live longer. And a few weeks ago when I was having a retreat, somebody said there was a vegetarian, 32 years old, died from a heart attack. Why? Think about why this person died. And her technical guy also passed away, 45 years old, vegetarian, maybe vegan, I think, he passed away. Why? Right? So much taking care of the body and everything. So that means death is not just attached to the eating habits. It attaches to our mental health as well. How I process what I perceive in my life, how I process my emotions, how I process the things that are happening in the world, and my loved ones, my work. That means the one who really take care of the mental health is the one who might be living the longest. Right? Eating habits might be part of it. Right? So the Buddha said, some people die early because some people, they have killed beings in a previous life. Some people, ekaccho ittiva pulso. Now there is Brother Sadhris here who is coming to my Friday Sutta discussion online, and he knows. He's in the part of the discussion. And then people who have not killed other beings, some people, due to that fact, they live longer, longevity. Second, some people, they always have health problem, knee pain, back pain, this problem, that problem, I always complain. Actually, they may have problem. Perhaps they are adding on their mental complaints onto them, more than the physical problem. And then the Buddha said it is because they, in previous lives, they have tortured beings, hit other people with sticks, and then even bullied other people. We can bully people emotionally, rushing people, pushing people, emotional bullying, making others to buy things for us. What do you call it? What do you call that? What kind of bullying is that?
Forcing people to buy for you. Wow.
Yeah, you are kind of pestering in a different indirect way, and finally they end up buying. They are not happy too. So people can torture others physically, mentally, emotionally, in many ways. So please be careful how it works, because physical bullying has been very minimal by now, because everywhere in the world we know that even parents even cannot punish their kids, not like your time, 20, 30 years back. So, but what is now happening is that mental bullying, emotional bullying, people even take their life, even these teenagers. They don't know how to process this feeling, they don't know who to talk. And if they talk, they feel very embarrassed, they are picked on. So the Buddha said, because someone has tortured physically, especially physically and mentally, this is why they are having a lot of sicknesses. So that means if you want to be healthy in that perspective, don't torture, bully other people in this life. Right? At least during the rest of your lifetime. It will happen this life or next life. Right? And then there are some other people who are very pretty, very handsome, beautiful, others are not. Why is it? The Buddha said it is because in their past lives, those who are now not that good looking or whatever, they have been very angry, all the time angry, not having mudita about other people's beauty, always angry about other people, and then at the same time jealous about other people, angry and jealous. Actually, anger comes because of the jealousy at that point. So they could not process those feelings. I'm happy for you. Right? Normally we say, I am happy that you are happy. Right? So the Buddha said there are certain people who are getting those karmas. But what I suggest is, if that was a karma, we don't have to worry about it. We will do what is necessary now. What is necessary to live longer. Because in Buddhism, you don't have to die early. Right? What do you think? Some people wrongly understand Buddhism. Everything is anicca. So dying early is better. Whatever. But Buddhist idea is living longer helps you to practice more Dhamma. Because nowadays people learn a lot of Dhamma. They don't have time to practice. My understanding is one Dhamma talk takes at least 1 month to practice. Every bit and piece of that Dhamma talk, lot of things to process. Right? So living long is a bodhisattva idea, like bodhisattvas, in Mahayana bodhisattvas. What do? I don't want to become a Buddha now. I help you to become the Buddha. You go first, That's a good feeling, right? You go to a shop, other people, you go first. Okay. I bypassed 3 people. I've been in the front. This is what the modern science is doing with a concept called transhumanism. I don't know how many of you know this idea. Somewhat old in a way. Some scientists they are trying to do experiments on transhumanism. That means whether science and technology can limit the biological realities or not, right? This is an idea. So this does not conflict with Buddhism, because Buddhism always say living longer is a good idea. So if the scientists can do something, like what you call the idea cryonism, they are trying to freeze dead bodies for 300 years, see whether they can send their consciousness to iCloud or cloud. If they can take the MRI, CT scan photos of every bit of their brain, this might be not a Buddhist idea in the first place. But I think we perceive now people live longer compared to 30 years, 40 years back. I think we have to accept that. In 50s, maybe 40s, if somebody got a heart attack, some believe that this is due to a devil attack, because they don't know how to rip the rib cage off and then do a surgery. But now, due to many medications, some people live longer. Maybe the people who are going to be reborn in 30, 40 years from now, they may have very, very advanced medical treatments compared to us. They might live longer. So that's why we have to look at these things differently. So the short answer to this is that bad karma can be neutralized by engaging in positive karmas, 10 kusalas. And also I ask you not to brand any experience, either bad or good, as a result of karma. Normally in today's world, people talk about karma from the result perspective only. When someone is going through a bad time, karma. But how to create karma, they don't know what it is. Right? That's like instant karma is only from the result perspective. Buddhism talks about, hey, don't just be worried about this result. You create positive karmas. Because in Buddhism we are not goal oriented. What can I get from this? Like in today's world, every moment of the day, many people are thinking, what can I get out of this activity? Go to the temple, do something, next life, now I'm okay. You know? Buddhists ask us to think that what can I give to the society, to the other people? That could be a better way of being happy. While I am getting something, but more towards what I can give. Yes. If I was received, what I can give back. This is the more, holistic way to become happier. Right? Not that I am eating good food, I am happy. Once in a while, if I can afford, I treat somebody, I'm happy. This kind of, what can I give, not what can I get every day, right? This mentality. So I think it's better to look at creating good karma rather than being worried about, I did a bad karma, and you don't know whether you did or not. So our focus in this retreat is do more good karma and then to bypass, neutralize bad karma. But please understand, as a disclaimer, this does not encourage you to do bad karma, new bad karma, and then to clear. We are not encouraging that. Asking somebody that, who has not killed a mosquito? This question, you know what you did, who you were, right? So then, how to do more good karmas from today onwards and to become that better person? How can I transcend karma? Now you think karma gets us, karma will get you, but how to go beyond karma? That is Arahant. Arahant has gone beyond karma. No good karma, no bad karma. How to go there? But till we go there, what to do? Engaging in more good karma without expecting merits, because merits are complementary. Are we worried about complementary things? We don't have to. There is a rain happening, let's say suppose there's a rain. Are you going to water your plants at that time? You don't have to. It's raining over there. So do good karma with kusala perspective, not merit perspective. Now what's happening is everything is meritocracy. What can I get out of this? Exams, result, degrees, money, everything. We have to go beyond this culture. Otherwise, we are not able to understand this topic.
Thank you, Bhante. So I think Bhante gave a very lengthy and informative reply. I think the other part, as a Buddhist, at least also for me, that we always talk about karma, and then you say, oh, you will be experiencing this. But as Buddhists, we don't believe it's supposed to be not in self. I mean, there's anatta. Then the next question will be that who then experienced this result of karma?
No, we believe in self. As I said earlier, we believe in a changing. This is a misunderstanding. Many, I think, this who created this chaos, saying that Buddhism does not believe a self. Early Western scholarship, 18th century, biblic, especially those colonizers who went to Sri Lanka. Those who went to Sri Lanka in 18th century and 19th century, they were British officials. And they are the ones who approached some Sri Lankan temples and some erudite scholarly monks. But the problem was that most of them didn't speak English. So they were trying to just manage, English and give their Dhamma knowledge. But those officials, they took it
literally
closer to doctrinal, biblical canon, right? With the words that are very closer to the Holy Bible. So, say for instance, emancipation. You see those books that were written in early 19th century and late 18th century. Emancipation. What is this? Who can emancipate us? Is the God? Redemption, emancipation. They are not proper words. When you know the Pali context, nobody can emancipate you. This is one thing. And what are the other Pali words? Suffering. Dukkha. Is dukkha suffering exclusively? Is the Pali word dukkha exclusively suffering? No. Dukkha initially means an unsatisfactory mental state. So can it be a suffering? No, I think we day-to-day life, we are having this, but we are changing that to a better feeling. And nobody says, I'm in dukkha. Okay, I went to a coffee shop maybe today morning. That mocha is not good, but I'm not suffering. I go for a better mocha, What's the problem with that? So that's why we cannot use that kind of an English word for the dukkha. And nibbana, this Pali word, enlightenment. Is this a proper word for this? Is nibbana enlightenment? Enlightenment has a lot of meanings. Even a pianist will come here, while guitarists come here and say, I'm going to enlighten you with my piano performance. Right? This has many contextual meanings. But what is nibbana? You are awakening from the sleep of akusala. Because we are always sleeping with akusala. We have to awaken. That must be $1 million wake up in the morning, because this wake up is not normal wake up in the morning. Right? So that's why. Now, say for instance, the Bodhi, luckily they couldn't find any word. They said Bodhi. B-O-D-H-I. Bodhi. You can't find a word for that. So if you don't know how to use a word, say the Pali word for that. Bodhi. So there are many other words. So the problem came in because of those translations. Actually, we cannot blame them. We Buddhists are not blaming, rather understanding. So they did something good, but they brought all the Sri Lankan Pali manuscript back to England, and then they made they transliterated into Romanized text under Pali Society. This is what happened, and they translated. Right. So the writers who made this at that time, they were translating with a closer look at of the Holy Bible. This is why these words are coming. So that's why this Pali word atta and the idea called self should have been translated as a changing self is accepted by Buddhism. So I think that answers this question. And the second is that what is anatta? Anatta means while we are taking care of our changing self, we also have to understand this changing self will be not always with us. It is conditioned to other phenomena, other people activities, other people processing, even processing itself, conditioning itself. So this both understanding have to go together. So then if we have a changing self, definitely that changing self is what has the consciousness to the next life. I die with that changing self, that means consciousness is changing, being changed, and go to the next life, where I am carrying my all the karma here, not even past karma I am making now, fresh karma. That is how it goes to the next life. But the nice thing is that, funny is that my karma will be merged, paired with other people's karma in the next life. How is it happening? Let's say I done some bad karma, so that I am going to be reborn in a family where I will be having a lot of suffering, lot of dukkha at that point, bad suffering. Let's say why someone is going to be reborn into a family that everybody will be blind. And someone is going to be reborn into a family, everybody has certain non-communicable diseases, diabetic family. Everybody is getting this by nature. Maybe a family that has some other problems, some pain problem. Why is it? This could be a karma, in a way, right? So there are certain aspects to think about. But as Buddhists, we are not just become silent for them. We are doing the necessary things, medical treatments, and the way we look at it, right? And create more positive karma. At least in the next life, I am free from this issue. So that's how we look at it. So the question once again, self.
Because who then experiences?
We, our changing self. It's nobody else. That means my karma will not be shared by my mom. So I have to make sure I'm okay. But if I did a bad karma with my mom together, then collective karma will go further.
Okay, thank you, Bhante, for explaining that misconception. The other part, I think, that maybe I'll just have to ask one last question. In this theme of today's retreat is supposed to be clearing bad karma. Can we really literally clear all bad karmas, or is some karma that, like weighty karma, that you cannot eradicate?
Can we? Can we?
From my understanding and reading from some texts, some of them was mentioning that those weighty karma has to be, like you had to pay for that kind of bad action. For example, like Venerable Mongala, he died. Because of and the Buddha did kind of explain that it is because of his bad karma.
Okay.
And that is his last life, of course.
Karma is being misused by people as well. Say, for instance, there was an extramarital affair that is happening in one family, and when the wife approached the man, he told her, you know what, in a past life I done a bad karma, so I have to take care of 2 other women.
That's a good karma.
And she said, what is this? This is my bad karma, you doing this to me, right? That's why I have to take care of them. I got money, but I have to spend for them, So people misuse this idea because it's very abstract. That's why we have to find out certain moral parameters of this idea, concept of karma. So Arahant Moggallana's case is very different, because it is said that he killed his mother, father.
Yeah, yes, committed.
So there are 5 bad karmas that are very heinous. You will have to pay for a lot. Killing mother, killing father, wounding the Buddha, killing Arahants, and creating some issues among the Sangha members. Sangha members here don't even mean physically wearing Sangha members. Who is a Sangha? Let me ask you. That's a very good question. Who is Sangha to you? The ones who are wearing robes.
The one who follows the Buddhist follow the Buddhist tradition and teachings.
Okay.
And you create certain skillism to.
Now, how to spot a Sangha member according to Buddhist suttas? Because you always say Supatipanno, Ujjapatipanno, Nyayapatipanno, Samikapatipanno. But what is the definition of how to understand a Sangha member? Those propagate Dhamma. Lay people also propagate Dhamma. So how to distinguish this actually? There are fourfold Sangha members. Who are they? Sotapanna, Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, Upasaka, Upasika. That is a way to correctly understand the community, Buddhist community. Bhikkhu, Sangha, Bhikkhuni, Sangha, Upasaka, Sangha. Why Upasaka becomes Sangha, like our brother Melvin and all these people? Why? Why you are becoming a Sangha? And why our Upasaka, females, can become Sangha? How to understand that? You could have said Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, Upasaka, Upasika. But why Bhikkhu Sangha, Bhikkhuni Sangha? We understand that. Why Upasaka Sangha, Upasika Sangha? Why are they also called as Sangha? Then understand Sangha is not taken as what they wear. It's an additional layer to understand Sangha. The basic definition of Sangha is taken whether the person has attained Sotapatti and onwards. Let's say there is a lay person, layman, who has attained Sotapatti. That person is called Upasaka Sangha. Let's say females, Upasika, wearing white clothes and living normal life, they attain Sotapatti or Sakadagami or Nagami Arhan. They are called Upasika Sangha. Sangha means all these four. If a Bhikkhu, monk, has attained Sotapatti, he is called a Bhikkhu Sangha. Not because she wears it. So to become a real Sangha member, Bhikkhu, Bhikkhuni, Upasaka, Upadi, all have to attain one of the stages. Right? And the further explanations were given under the Supatipanno. You can see Yadidang, Chattari, Purisa Yugani, 2 sets and 8 people. Atta Purisa Pukkala. That's the example. But this is how we look at it. Right? So, Sangha is like that. That is how we have to understand. Our question was, once again...
No, I mean, the question was about, because...
the karma. So then, if somebody has done one of these karmas, that person will have to pay. But the problem is, this list is not very inclusive. What about someone kills one's brother, sister? Is it here? What if someone kills the teacher? Right? It's not here. So that's why we have to understand, although they were given as such, we have to be very careful. We should avoid all the bad things. But Arahan Moggallana went through that experience because he killed his mother, father. That's why he had to pay for it as such, even becoming after that. Also, there are certain texts that are talking why Buddha got a headache sometime, migraine, why he got a back pain. There were reasons for that. In some cases, even though some of the karmas, they were coming after him. In one story, it is said that in one of the lives, he was happily watching how other people were catching fish. Not that he ate, very happily watching it. And this is proven by another book that was written in 70s, Many Mansions, written by Gina Seminara, where she mentions about Edgar Casey's case studies about hypnotism. Edgar Casey was one of the hypnotizers living in, I think, somewhere in Europe, who was hypnotizing certain people who have been going through pain. So he interviewed one lady who had a very bad back pain, chronic back pain. And he was able to bring her back to previous lives and then stop at a certain life in 1400. Where at that time, the kings in Austria, they were getting together with the audience, and they were bringing a certain prisoner or somebody into the ground and letting the lions eat the prisoners alive. And this lady was in the audience, and onlooker was happily watching at how the lions was tearing off the back of the man, and this happiness, the bad happiness, now coming after her. as a chronic back pain, no doctors can save her. They always give the painkillers. So these are very interesting stories about some karma, right? So that is how we have to look at it. So it's very different. But there are things we can do, at least from that time onwards.
So the advice is still to try to clear your bad karma.
Yeah, engaging in 10 kusala activities.
So, do you want them to ask?
Yeah, now we can open the floor to our Dhamma friends.
Now, do you have any question for Bhante?
Yeah,
maybe?
please raise your hand. We need Sister Kanchana here just to pass the mic and the other mic. So please
Anyone
raise your hand.
Any question? This is.
Yeah, about.
We will have tomorrow the.
Yeah, tomorrow I am going to pick up one by one.
Okay, so.
Yeah. Yeah, both mics. The other mic too? Yes. Just hold the both mics. Yeah.
Good afternoon, Bhante. On this subject of karma, I have this question about sometime in certain situations we have to do bad karma. Okay, and the reason for that, the strict definition of bad karma, but this is for the collective good, or maybe for the greater good of some group of people, or community, or what have you. So, how would you interpret this kind of action? I mean, if I can give a specific example, let's say you are, in the context of America, I mean, there's a lot of this kind of mass killing, and then you are at the parking lot of a shopping mall, and you see this person that is preparing to undertake a mass killing, and then you know that through that many people will die. So
symmetric.
You take action, all right. But in the process, if you have to kill him, because of course you try to subdue him, but if you cannot subdue him, and then in the process accidentally you kill him. So how would you interpret this kind of thing? Because killing is in its absolute meaning is bad karma.
No, killing, we have to be very careful here. Intention is the problem here. Now let's take the same example you take in another perspective. There is a domestic violence happening in a house. Somebody calls the police, and police will come. Somebody is trying to shoot someone in that house, maybe stab, and the police is trying to negotiate with the person, attacker, but he or she doesn't want to discuss with them, trying to maybe do something. So maybe the police is asking to put down the knife, put down the gun or whatever. But at that point, in order to save the innocent person, the police will have to use the extra force. That is one example. What if somebody coming to you and trying to kill you? You can defend yourself. You don't have to die just because somebody's ignorance. So Buddhism looks at these examples from a mature, liberal understanding point. Buddhism says it's the volition that is making karma. So those points have to be understood with the time, practical sense. So what Buddhism says is killing is not good, but there are moments people are in trouble. At that point, you have to see the best solution to that problem. Okay, I will give you a story from the Sutta text and then discuss that. Do you remember the story about a snake who took precepts, 8 precepts or 5 precepts? I think 5 precepts. There's a story in perhaps it is coming in the Itivuttaka text, where one snake on a full moon day, cobra, went to a hermitage and then told, at that time animals used to talk. I don't know how they lost it, after many centuries. They lost it. At that time they had it. So they went and the cobra told the ascetic, dear Lord, I want to take the precept. He said, I don't think it's useful for me to give you the precept because you can't take it. He said, no, I will do some effort, make some effort to keep it. Then with that understanding, ascetic gave him 5 precepts: not killing, not stealing, and all that. So after he took the precept, he went away. So on the way back, what happened? A farmer was stacking up a certain firewood stack. So he got stuck in that. Now he cannot do anything because he took the precepts. So the farmer piled it up, stack up, and then brought home, and then so a tail was wagging on the side of the firewood. He thought, definitely a venomous snake here. And then he took another stick, trying to let it loose, and then the snake was slowly going away. Thought maybe a rattlesnake, non-venomous. But it was a cobra. Cobra who took precepts. No? Don't believe them. I mean, that particular cobra had taken precepts. So there was a custom at that time, every evening, the day that you take precept, you have to report to the teacher at that time. So the cobra knew this custom. He went back to the hermitage. Then from afar, the hermit asked, "Hello cobra, how is the status of your precept taking? Look what happened to me, I'm swollen, And then he asked what happened. He said the story, then I couldn't do anything. But this hermit told something very interesting. He said, not killing does not mean that you couldn't have hiss to say that you are here. If you had hiss the farmer, he would have let you go. You didn't do anything. So when people are bullying you, you have to show you could do something, but you don't do it. This is kind of a solution where you shouldn't be the victim of somebody who's bullying you, right? But there are people there, this is my bad karma, my family always taking me for granted, my family abusing me all the time. That is not the Buddhism. So you have to understand how to negotiate, how to face that situation. It might be different. In the worst case, you may go for a different choice. So even if you take the America situation, it's a very different situation where there are mass shooting happen. Either you should have stayed home. Sometimes you can't even do that. You have to go to the mall, and somebody who has let go of the whole life come and kill everybody and kill himself too. So how to take care of us? Then we understand from the Buddhism, what is that? Asevana cha balanam panditanam cha sevana puja cha pujaniyanam patirupa desa vasocha. The Buddha asks us to live in a better place in the world. Better place is a crime-free neighborhood. Then you decide for yourself where you want to live. Or you want to go to that kind of a place where you want to go to a crime-full place. So we have things we can do. Not that you are in trouble, now you are seeing an on-the-spot solution. But let's say there are problems happening to you, you should take care of yourself. I don't know what you can do. You should take care of yourself. That is Buddhism. Not that you let someone to kill you. I cannot say what you can do. You should know what to do. Right? That could be...
Sometimes when you see, being humans, you see some problems, you just walk away. Rather than wanting to intervene and then get yourself into trouble.
Shooter will not let you go. In that case, then you have to understand what to do in a very smart, professional manner, wise manner.
I mean, right? The wisest thing is to get him down.
No,
he's got a gun,
perhaps, No, I don't think you have to go to that thing right away. There are other things you could have done.
But it's very instantaneous,
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the
your
case.
mind is, working to do or not to do. The easiest thing for most people would be just walk away, and then let it be other people's problem. It's not my problem.
Now, say for instance, someone.
Sorry, because I'm one who always try to, when I see something that's wrong, I confront the problem. Especially social problems and whatever, I do that.
Yeah.
So sometimes I just asking myself, should I do it and then get
what I'm saying
punched
is that
and then or do I just walk away?
Yeah.
My son tells me walk away.
Yeah, if it is possible. If it is possible. Yeah. So consider other options what you can do to do it with some Buddhist responses. But the worst case, you think about what to do. I mean, not to kill.
Okay.
Try to do something, not going to
wholesome,
that point. Yes.
Something that's not wholesome.
Yes.
Killing is an extreme.
Yeah. Yeah. Please take the mic and please.
Okay, Bhante, building on his story about the mass killing and what he should do, and he wants to play the hero. Okay, what if he says that because it's a twin? I would say that, okay, let's say he decides that he will take action. Okay, he cannot see this wrong. He wants to do something about it, and he then confronts, not say confront, but he sacrifices himself. Take the bullet and save everybody by, overwhelming that person. In the past, when we hear stories of Buddha sacrificing himself, like jumping into the pot to provide food for, the jackal. Yeah, the Jataka tales. So for let's say he does that, he is able to overwhelm, and in the process he gets killed, the man also gets killed. But then a lot of people are saved. He's a hero, but he sacrificed his life, and we say that when you commit suicide, you give up your life is also wrong. So how? It's a dilemma.
No, we have to look at it from two angles. One is during the time situation, and then we do a post-mortem of what happened. Right? So we look at it in two ways. So now he's talking about a real situation. If it is real, what can we do? So I'm not advising that you have to die for other people, because it might be a bodhisattva idea someone does in our Jataka stories. But you have to, we cannot hypothesize this situation, because it's a very different case situation. So try to take care of yourself and help other people. That is number one, because we don't know how serious is the situation at that point, and who are involved, what kind of problem is this. So number one is self-care. Then what will happen is that if we're going to make it communalized, every Buddhist might think that dying for other people is a good thing, like a suicidal bomber. But what I'm trying to say is that self-care is very important. Right? So we cannot create a specific idea for this, rather act on the situation. So how to act on the situation? With some moral perspective. Take care of oneself, whether you could do something for other people, or whether you need to call upon certain authorities for that. Not that you go, hey, you kill me, I will save all the other people, or become that kind of a Hollywood hero in the movie, or Bollywood hero. So better take care and then think about the best solution for that. But there were occasions, as such as you say, people become hero when other people look at it after a long time about the story. There were things like that. So people can comment on it differently. But we are talking not a post situation. We are talking a situation that will happen to somebody.
But if, let's say, it's really happening, but his intentions are good, because for a killing to happen, it's also your intention. Good. Okay. He did say he went off accidentally. So the intention is good to save other people. So he didn't have the intention to kill. But let's say in the struggle, a gun goes off, either someone gets shot, that kind of thing.
No, I mean, it might be, it might happen, it might not happen. Yeah. But I think this is a very hypothetical situation. Okay, so we don't have to go to this kind of thing and bring a lot of Dhamma into that at that point. Better self-care. Okay. A lot of things that should have been avoided. Place. Crimes are happening. It can happen anywhere in the world. But there are certain places that are crime, there are more crimes are happening. He took up that kind of an example. Mass shooting culture. It's happening in that place all the time. Nobody can do anything, right? There are other things that are going on. So what I suggest is that it's better to take care of us, right? This is something that we have to think about, not somebody who is living in that part of the world. Second is that do the wisest thing that you can do. It might be different, as you said, it can be that kind of a thing, it might be something else. But I think, if that is the worst case scenario, one has to decide, should I or should I not? Yeah.
Okay, we'll take it as self-preservation first.
Self-care is number one.
Yeah.
Yeah, self-care is not being selfish. Yeah. There's one over here.
Thank you, Bhante. Bhante, attending this retreat, while I share with some of my fellow classmates, I think one of the brother had a very intense conversation with me about the concept of clearing bad karma. So, just like the simile of the salt water, the intensity of the salt, the saltiness itself is like, if we added more water, is to dilute it so that it's less salty. But then again, the concept of it, the salt is still there, which means karma, whether good or not, it can't be eradicated. But yes, the timing of when it will come to a fruition, it depends on all the various conditions. So that's why there is this conversation I had with him, he was like, the concept of clearing bad karma, can karma be eradicated for bad karma, the bad one specifically? So, but I think I totally agree with the saying that it's always about not building the condition for the fruition of the bad karma, but fundamentally, can it be eradicated?
Yes, it can be. Some karmas take many lifetimes, like those 5 heinous karmas. If karma cannot be changed, we are destined, we are bounded by karma. No, that's one misconception we discuss. Karma can be changed. It is by becoming a better person. But we may still have to go through certain punishments, certain things to pay for it. But we can mitigate, we can neutralize that harshness, that rigidness of that bad karma. It's like a normal situation. You apologize to somebody and then you feel that there is a good situation happening. But this does not encourage people to create new bad karma. Then you are creating double bad karma. You have the wrong intention and you're creating another bad karma on top of that. So yes, we can. If bad karma can be neutralized by engaging in positive actions and sometimes paying for it. Like what happens to Devadatta, monk Devadatta. Monk Devadatta is in the hell. King Ajasatta is in the hell. They are paying for their karma. It's like the modern judiciary system. You are becoming rehabilitated. But we cannot say karma cannot be neutralized. Karma can be neutralized. It's a misconception that people believe karma cannot be neutralized. It can be. Do more good karma. Let's say you feel you are not getting enough support in your life, do more dana. If you think that you are always stolen, you don't have money, in your culture you might feel you want to change the place that you put those things in your different aspects. The Buddha said no. Take care of things of you and other people. Right? If you don't have a good relationship, perhaps this might be due to certain karma sumichachara problem in a past life. At least in this life, you are respecting other people's relationship. Right? Maybe you are someone who is always swindled, cheated by other people. Perhaps this might be due to my musamada in my previous lives. I have been telling lies all the time. So, going to the opposite side of the particular bad activity, we can create more good karmas and then become a better person. So that can change. The same example you took, the salt example, I would like to pinpoint because this example was given in a sutta,
Yes.
Lonapala Sutta. In Lonapala Sutta, Buddha says, bad karma, not even bad karma, any karma can be changed. Any karma, good karma also can be changed. That is not a good thing, right? If you change your good karma, let's say you are doing a good karma, but then at the end you mess up with your good karma, then you are neutralizing, you are weakening the good karma. So also the bad karma. Let's say the bad karma, someone has done some bad karma, more bad karma, less good karma. Maybe 70% bad karma, 30% good karma. Now 70% will definitely take it over, right? What happens is that if somebody put a small amount of salt into a glass of water, then what happens? The glass of water immediately becomes salty. Why is it? The amount of salt is more than the volume of the water. And the Buddha asked then from Mahanama, what if you put the same amount of salt into the Ganges in India? Will the whole Ganges become salty? No. Volume of water in Ganges more voluminous than the amount of the salt. In this way, someone who has not done enough kusala karma, good karma, even the small bad thing will give that person a very hard time.
Yeah.
So now don't think that I do 20% of bad karma and do 80% of good karma, right? It's not like that. Let's say you have done less dana, but you have become more stingy in your life, right? I mean, you don't want to give things to other people. You are a hoarder, right? Professional hoarder sometimes. You don't want to let go things. And then what happens? That bad karma, because you haven't done enough dana, will take you over. So, but by engaging in the opposite good side, you can neutralize it. So it's a fact. The Buddha himself talked about it.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah. So we have another 14 minutes. So we have a question. You can raise your hand. You can sit down.
Yeah. Is there any more questions?
Just raise your hand. In the meantime, you have a question?
I think I have a
lot of questions. Tomorrow, yeah, we'll give the chance. Yeah.
I think to this talk, Bhante has given one strong message. Help yourself in order that you be able to help others. Because if you don't help yourself, you always think about the external factors, end up you doing more harm to yourself. So always remember that. Take care of yourself first. Because taking care of yourself, like what Bhante mentioned, is always in the mind.
Self-care is not selfishness actually. That has to be separated. Some people think when you take care of yourself, you are very selfish. Not you are selfish. You have to take care of yourself. With the examples we discussed in the morning. But at the same time, you also have to do other care appropriately. Other care means take care of your loved ones and other people too. So both have to go in tandem. What we see is in the society is that either people are becoming so selfish or so altruistic. When you become overly altruistic, that could be a problem to you as well. Because one day you will think other people have become energy vampires too. You took your own energy for 20 years. You don't want to call other people energy vampires,
So you're going to have to put that to stable to this energy.
Yeah, please take the mic. Yeah.
So thank you, Bhante. It's been very interesting. So you don't have to feel guilty. Feel guilty if there's this energy vampire person that always suck up your energy, makes you feel guilty.
Guilty for?
Example, you have a person who's always saying very domineering character.
Mm-hmm.
So you have to wait for me here,
You have to?
we have to go and eat now. Otherwise you make me hungry, I get gastric, I get problem. It's because of you.
Yeah.
Can you just wait 5 minutes? No, I want to go now.
Yeah.
So something like that.
Yeah.
So how you
Handle.
make you feel guilty that if I don't go with you now, I feel so guilty.
Yeah, that is the problem now. I would give you
So
a long.
can I just ignore the person for now?
Let me answer. Let me answer in a nice way.
Please give me the wise answer. Please give me the wise answer.
Okay. Number one is this is the problem that we have to look at it from long-term perspective, and then what to do when we cannot do anything, because when that person became somebody in our life, right? That's why we have to choose people wisely. Number one, I think you missed that deadline. I think. Asevanacha Balanam Pandita. That is one. Number one. Number two, don't know whether this person became like that due to a medical problem, mental or physical problem. If he or that person cleared from that, then we will talk about the third option. Right? The third thing is, like let's say someone becomes hungry and want to go eat, grab food, and then you are not ready, you have to get ready also, right? I think communication, at least to create a good communication with this person, you have to, think about the situation. If none of these things are going to work, then adjust yourself a little bit. Not that going to, because the modern day idea is that you don't need to care for anybody, just be yourself. That's not going to work in Buddhism. If we want to just be us, that is what we hear from a lot of people who come to meditation in the West. They are saying that to us, those Western people. Until this time of my life, I didn't care anybody. I just did what I want. But I feel there is a vacuum in my life. Nobody can fill it. Then we say, do some volunteering in the temple. Come and cut the grass in the temple. Shovel the snow. I feel good. This community, I don't know their feeling. They are Asian people. But I feel a connection now. This is what you have been purposely pushing away for 20 years. Last 20 years. Now you are becoming a part of a community. He said, he found a word. I think these are Kalyana Mittas. See, you got it.
Another suggestion is that since you know every time he complains, be mindful enough, always have a piece of cake. There you are, you can have it now. You can wait for 4 minutes. So he can have his thing and he will complain. You can always have some food in the bag and then give it to him.
Yeah, perhaps, as you said, that is also very interesting because some people we have to handle carefully. Each person is very different, So we have to handle them carefully. If the person is rushing, because although you go to a restaurant, you have to wait for another 10-15 minutes until they prepare the food. You have to order and everything, right? Even the traffic sometime, right? So try to think about other ways whether you can postpone a little bit. If none of these things are working, yes, she said, if none of these things are working, then adjust yourself a little bit differently so that you are not feeling rush for his demands. Then you know this is happening, you are ready anytime to go. That's better, it will become your normal life then. Still, I think it's not normal to you, like he's asking, hey, let's go, right? And you can't go, right? So just adjust yourself a little bit, but try to give him a message indirectly. This is not nice. That message has to go indirectly. I don't know whether he's open to discuss, maybe not. So give that message in a different indirect way, in a nice way. So he will become compassionate. The humans can be tamed down. If the animals can be tamed down, why not humans? Humans can be. But we have to touch the right place for that triggering points. It's like, I remember the story a long time ago in Sri Lanka. There was a big factory, one very big machine stopped working. So many people many technicians were hired to, it's a long time ago in 90s. So they did the troubleshooting, they couldn't find out anything in this machine. And after 10-15 people, there was somebody came, and then what he did was, he brought a hammer, he hit on a certain place, machine started working. Right? Everyone was very confused. I mean, not a very professional technician too. Maybe he came as a request of a friend recommendation. Then they asked, how much money do you charge? He said, 1,200 rupees at that time.
Okay.
That's a very odd number to them, a technician charge. He said, 200 is my charge, but being able to hit the right place in the machine, it costs 1,000. That is the thing in our life. We don't find out that right place, right condition for our problems. We only look at it from normal basis. Why this is happening to me? Why they are very bad to me? But if we carefully look at it, we will find the right place to properly trigger, solve the problem. So I think indirectly give the message, and then at the same time adjust yourself, because if that person is the one who you spending most of your time, why not? In a different way. In a different way. Because of course this is not something not many people going through normal life. But yeah. And hopefully that person might have some other good qualities. Perhaps. Maybe. Yeah. So think it little broadly and then do something for that. Yeah. I think this problem has happened to other people too. When you are with friends, someone is pushing you, hey, we have to eat now. Right? And you are not hungry too. But yeah, this happens to others too. It's not a very very rare problem. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, assistant.
Yes. Happily dying by practicing metta. So this was what happened. But the problem is we don't know how long that man was living in the Brahma worlds, because the last 5 Brahma worlds are the best, highest. We call pure lands. Aviha, Atappa, Sudasudasi, Akanita. So we don't know how long he stayed there. And Queen Mallika stayed for a week because her good karma took the bad karma over, that particular one bad karma. So the thing is that, let me tell you, in terms of karma ripening, we cannot create one particular formula. Different people go through their ripening differently. But now for us, what we look at is Queen Mallika did a lot of good karma. Why it happened to her? What about us? No, perhaps you might be born in a better place than her, because Queen Mallika not even did that. She even lied to the king. And then that was what she was very much worrying about, her lying and double bad karma. She did. It came after her for a week. So I think it's not just the activities themselves, it's how you process your own bad akusala. Let's say after doing a bad akusala, everybody processes it differently. Some people are very worried about it. Some people, they know it is a bad thing. I got to do a lot of good karma, as how we are now suggesting here during this retreat. Some people have no idea whatsoever. So different people process the good and bad differently. It's more than what they have done, and it's more about how they proceed with, how they look at, how they consider their own good bad karmas. So now we look at it good and bad, good things, bad things. So if you done the good thing, you must be there. Bad thing, you must be there. That's not how the karma conditions. Karma conditions in a non-linear way. I think today I showed you in the slides. Maybe we can share later. That understanding, your 2 examples, they go by the karma binary, good and bad. Good begets good, bad begets bad. So you are wondering why this happened. But these 2 examples really work with the second 2 formula. What is that? Non-linear process of the good bad karma. That means good person can be reborn in a bad state for a short time. Bad person can be reborn in a better place, good place for a short time. But they are very contingent status, right? So these are those 2 states. That's why the retribution we call vipaka. Kamma is the activity, vipaka is the retribution. Vipakas are processed in a very unique way from one to one. So we cannot guarantee about it. So it includes your rebirth now. It includes how you have processed in the previous life and now in whatever the way. And it also affects being affected by the environmental situation. Let's say you are going to be reborn in Gaza nowadays. And what will be your situation like? You're going to be reborn in Ukraine, in the war-torn zone. You may be a human. Why you have to go through all these problems? So much insecurity. You might die tomorrow, day after tomorrow, right? So that means the place we are reborn, our environmental factors also conditioned. So retribution is conditioned subject to many other things. in those two cases, it's how they process. Now, Queen Malika, she knew what she did and she lied also on top of that. And even before she passed away, she was not happy about what she did. And she was not able to overcome that remorse. You know, kukucha, Pali kukucha, remorse, regret. We have to remorse is common to all beings, right? Even cats also can become remorseful. Dogs also can be remorseful. But humans, we remorseful and we do the necessary thing after that. We are not going to stay in that stage. The Buddha said, be regretful, but don't dwell in that stage for long. Because the underlying nature of remorse is dosa, hatred. That's not nice. It's one of the poisons, dosa, root akusala. So we remorseful just to understand that monstrous evil nature that we had, and then to evade from that, exit from that state, not to keep it, going until we die. But Malika, she had no choice. She was succumbed to that problem. She was not able to overcome it.
Thank you, Bhante.
Yeah. We can take one more question, and we will, if you have, yes. Oh, over there. Over there, yeah. Other questions we will take tomorrow. So, with the paper questions, yeah.
Hello, I just have a short question. Can bad karma be like transferred from one person to another? Like let's say from a father to a child. And then can like one person like try to clear the bad karma of another person? Yeah.
Can. Yes. Well, let me tell you, there are two ways to look at it. One is that, generational mental states. I would take an example from the First Nations in the North American context. First Nations have built up certain generational anger. They are passing down to their next generation. Think about when the British went to North America, they brought smallpox to them, and they didn't know how to take care of them. Many of them died due to the smallpox, and then other problems. So then they are not happy that those lands were taken over by the British at that time. So when I interviewed one professor for native studies, and what she said was that the anger that their predecessors have been passing down to their progeny, their next people, through the genes. It's a genetic thing. It can go. That is one thing. Second thing is that why karma wise, today's topic wise, retreat topic wise, why am I being a part of a family who is having those issues? It is because that I did a similar karma to become a part of it, right? Two ways to look at it. It is happening, it's going to. And why am I becoming a part of that family? It is because I have done something with them before. So it is possible. It is transferable, like how you do the merit transference. It is transferable. It is not non-transferable. So the cost of karma is transferable, right? So that's why we have to be very careful when we make decisions together now, right now, as a family, as a company, as a government, as the temple management. We have to be very careful whether we are doing something holistic to the society or whether we are giving some problems to other people. But then now, what is the good news? Are we just going through the pain? No. The retreat here, what we are doing is that you can get rid of the problem. How can you get rid of the problem? Let's say someone is going to be reborn into a blind family. How to get rid of your eyesight? That is a problem. We understand it. What if that you are born into a family who are very much violent from day one? You see mother, father fighting each other, even hitting each other. Now, what can we do? And you are becoming someone who understands the problem. You don't want to continue this way, right? You understand their problem, right? So you want to become a better person. So there are things we can change, but there are certain things that might not be able to be changed in that way. But anyways, we are happy that we can change certain states to a certain extent. But it is transferable. Yeah. Okay. I think we almost come to the end of the Q&A. I think you may have questions, but save them for tomorrow. Now we are having our group photo. So how are we going to take it?
What do you want?
Before that, let me do a reflection. May all the good karmas we will make it through this Dhamma discussion. Brother Melvin moderated here, and we had a lot of good questions, and tomorrow we can continue. May all these good karmas that we've been making here today through the discussion be supportive and helpful for all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay. So, sit there.
I think Bhante, you sit, then they will try to kneel down.
Okay, sure.
Okay, Bhante, I think you will probably sit somewhere at the central part of the altar. And then if you all could then gather just around him, some of you are kneeling down,